Hi, I'm Jenny Craster from Goa, India, and this is a video based on my testimony on my encounter with angels. Just before I begin this video, I want you to know that the day I encountered angels, I didn't know that they were real angels because I've never seen a real angel in my life. I've seen angels on movies, images, and sculptures, but never encountered one. So, coming back to my testimony, it all began in 2019, somewhere down in October. My husband, my son, and myself, we were returning back from a very slow ride, and we were not far away from home. We were close to this crossroad, commonly known as Papa House in Vagator. And as we were approaching this crossroad, I and my husband had a very silly argument. So I got a little annoyed with him and I let go of my arms that were around him and I simply caught the bracket, which is behind the bike. And I was looking at the sky. As we were coming up towards this Papa House, I saw something very beautiful and extraordinary in the sky. It was this cloud that was right on the top. It was in a very different shape, like an upside down capital T. So it had a base down, and the base was not fluffy. Okay, so the base was really round, and right in the center of this base, there was a very tall tower cloud. Now, this tower cloud was extremely smooth. And on either side of this tower cloud, there were two angels. Now, like I said, I didn't know they were angels. So the very first thing that came in my mind was I was like, wow, look at this. I get to see some aviation drill from an army. And I was really excited because I thought they were going to do something, some kind of practice session or something like that. But as I was really happy, the very next second, it was jaw dropping to me because I came to know that there was no jet around. There was no chopper holding them in, so high in the sky. And though they were standing on the cloud, they were not. They were standing in air. So this is the cloud, and there was so much gap, and above that they were standing. So they were standing in air. And when I looked at all this, I said, "This is not normal" in my mind, and I was really scared. So I started to wonder how this was happening. And as I was wondering all these things, the angel who was standing towards the right hand side of the cloud kind of turns his face towards me. He was facing sideways, so he turns his face towards me and he shrinks his eyes at me. Now, when he does this, I get so terrified. I instantly vision in my mind that this is some kind of an Iron Man. He's now going to lift up his hand, and out from his palm, fire is going to blaze and it's going to hit all three of us, and we all three are going to die. This is what came in my mind that time. And while I was thinking all this in my mind and looking at him, the angel that was standing to the left hand side of this tower cloud kind of jumps up in the sky and dives straight down into the cloud and hits herself. I have no clue whether it is a male or a female because I only had a glimpse of the tip of the hair. I didn't get to see him at all, or her. And while all this went on, this angel who was looking at me starts to fly towards me. When I see him flying towards me, I was so terrified. I've never been so scared in my life. And I didn't know what to do. I looked at my husband and I was trying to tell him, like, you gotta help. There is something up in the sky that is not normal and it's approaching towards us. You need to do something about it. And I was shouting for help, but I couldn't open up my mouth. I was shouting for help from my mind. I couldn't say a word. I was just zapped. My phone was in the bike in the front pocket, and I said to myself, okay, I better take the phone and get a picture of it because this is something not normal. I need to show it to someone. But I couldn't reach out to my phone either because my hands were on the bracket. By now, this angel is already above me, and I was just looking at the angel and looking at my husband so helplessly, so terrified. I could literally feel my heart throbbing. I was breathing really hard, and I was really, really scared. I was looking at the angel, looking at my husband. I was doing that over and over again until suddenly, I don't know what happened, but my eyes just got stuck at this angel, and I was looking at him, and I said to myself, hey, this man is not harming me. He's just looking at me. I still didn't know that he was an angel then. So I looked at him back again, and I noticed that he was smiling at me. So I smiled back at him again. And when that happened, instantly there was this transmission of feelings and emotion within me. That was the quickest I ever had in my life. Right from being extremely frightened, I could feel peace and calmness entering into my body. And I was just looking at this angel being so happy. And I started to observe him from head to toe. I noticed he had this curly, beautiful hair, just like Saint Michael had. He had eyes, ears, mouth, fingers, everything just like a human being. And he wore this armor kind of a dress, with the pleats above the knees, same like Saint Michael, but the color, it was dark brown. It was in the evening time when I saw this. The sun didn't set, but his body was radiating light. That was really beautiful. So for me, when I was looking at him, I just didn't want to lose sight of him. After crossing this crossroad, we came to a portion where the trees were getting a little dense, and I didn't want to lose sight of him. But for some moment, he got covered completely. But just before that, I managed to notice that he had no cape, he had no wings, he had no sword or weighing scale in his hand. But then, yeah, he got covered for a second, and when I came round the other second, he just disappeared. Now that is the moment when I came to know it was an angel. So I started rejoicing and praising God. I took the sign of the cross. I made spontaneous prayers. There were just 4 prayers. The fourth one was for my son, and I was really happy. If I have to explain to you the size of this angel, then if I had to see a plane from that distance, then the plane would be, we would measure with our estimation, that big. But that was the size of his eye, his single eye. This angel was humongous. It's just gigantic, enormous. I can think of big words, but yes. And I feel so blessed to see them. And I really want to share this to the whole world. I did tell God that also. I said I will definitely share it with all my brothers and sisters. And so you can help me. Please share this video. And thank you for listening and watching. God bless you.